So, video games. So, as the title suggests, today's episode is going to be about video games and our opinion on them as former and probably still video gamers. I mean, I haven't played video games in a while, but I know my dad played video games here, and then he has an arcade right there, and then my Jaden playing his video games too. But we all have different opinions on them, different viewpoints on them, and we're here to express them, not to judge you, not to tell you that you can't play them, but rather tell you ways to and tips to moderate them, so that they can support you in your journey and whatever your journey is, like building a body, maybe building your relationship with God, building a business, all those stuff, so that video games don't become a distraction for you. Because a lot of people are different. A lot of people they can't play video games because it really does distract them, and some people can actually play them because it doesn't distract them, and it's a form of relaxation. Although for me personally, I don't believe it's a form of relaxation, because it does, in your brain, it does give you that dopamine effect, which is never really technically a form of relaxing. But yeah, that's what we're going to do today. Give our opinion, our suggestion, our tips, so that you can moderate your video game usage, so that they can become an asset, a tool that assists you in your journey to become something greater, rather than prevent you and hold you back.
So, being a gamer myself, and then also being a parent as well, gaming has always been my way of expressing how I feel at the current moment. It was my way of being able to block everything outside of the world and just, in an enclosed area, wherever that may be. It could be in your room, it could be in your living room. There's always going to be a distraction when you're gaming, because if you have a partner, or if you have kids, they're always going to be, it's always going to be a distraction. So you're always going to play, but you're never going to feel satisfied. So you're always going to want to continue playing, and continuation of playing is what I feel what gaming was hindering me from, which life is such a beautiful thing to have. And when you're not really observing what matters, then you kind of let go of what being alive is all about. And if we're stuck to a chair, glued to a TV, or glued to a PC, you kind of lose that a little bit of you.
What you said about how people play video games as a way to blockade everything else going on in their lives, and it's a really good usage for that, you could technically say, because it really does put you in this whole nother world that you can live in, this virtual world that you can live in, and your priorities, your responsibilities, if you're going through something, all of that you forget, because now you're living a completely different life made by these developers at PlayStation, whatever they are. So now that's why people play them as a way of, it's technically a drug use, because you're playing it as a way to suppress your other emotions and as a way to forget about life. I feel the same thing when I sometimes, because I don't play video games as often at all. So whenever I feel, I guess you could say, sad, or whenever I feel something's not going right in life, maybe I'll just go on YouTube and try to suppress that with YouTube Shorts, just scrolling. I don't have TikTok, so it's YouTube for me. And whenever I notice I'm doing that, I'm like, is this really gonna help me relax? Is this really gonna help me come back so I can now do what I was doing even better? Relaxing, I can just close my eyes for 5 minutes. But going on YouTube and watching 5 minutes of YouTube, that's not a form of relaxation. It's just a form of suppressing my emotions. And a lot of people, they use video games as a way to suppress their own emotions. And to me, that's not the best way to do it, because you really just, you're forgetting about your priorities, your responsibilities. It's people prefer to level up in the virtual world rather than real life. And that's where people really get stuck at, and that's where society is really going downhill, because so many young men are leveling up in League of Legends, leveling up in Fortnite, Valorant, whatever they're playing, rather than as their own main character. They're playing this character right now. And do you want to be seen playing a character, playing a game? Or do you want to be seen as a character playing your own game that you made up?
Definitely. Just to add on to that is that, being a parent and gaming is kind of like a lot of people might look at you and be like, how do you game when you have kids and you have a job and you have just responsibilities, keeping the house clean, making sure that everyone is good and the house is safe and stuff like that. But I always found time to game, because to me gaming is my way of escaping, right? So and anything in moderation I feel like is good. But if you're stuck playing a game, okay, and I have been there, when you're stuck playing a game that's from sun up to sundown, and then everything just slips away around you, and your kids are growing, and you forgot, how old they were, or you forgot to feed them, okay, then you have a problem. And I was there. I was once there where essentially I wanted to be the best at playing Call of Duty, Warzone, Escape from Tarkov. These are games that PUBG, DayZ, these are games that I just wanted to be great at playing, but it required a lot of time. And time is one thing that I did not have. I would have a normal job, a 9 to 5. And when I got off work, I would be kind of tired. And to get on another monitor, or whether it is, I don't know, whatever job you may have, it may be physical, or maybe, you may be at home. I'm not sure, but a job is a job. 9 to 5, you get home and you play on a game, and you play it for hours on out, and then the next thing you know, your whole day just done slip away, and your kids are now sleeping. You gotta go to bed, and you gotta wake up to go do the same thing again. That was me, and I always felt unsatisfied. I never felt like, this was enough. I always felt like I needed more time, and I always felt like I never had enough of anything. So again, in moderation, and again, these are worldly things. These are things that we do not need to associate with, but because we are living here, we are living in this world, right? And we all like to do relatable things. I mean, the best thing about us people is that we all have different experiences, and we all can reflect off of each other's experiences and tell each other what was good about it and what was bad about it. And that's how we can learn from these things that we call games, which there's nothing completely wrong with it. I feel like it is an amazing thing to be able to, escape and look at a monitor or whatever that may be, and kind of like see yourself in this place. And you're like, wow, this is amazing. Like, we might not be able to ever go to Jupiter, right? Or maybe go to the moon. But in a video game, you might. And the way they make these games today, they make them so real that it's kind of like frightening, right? It's kind of frightening how close we are to like something so real, but we will never touch it. We will never touch it. But the problem here is that it will always touch us with emotions. It would always touch us with emotions. We will always feel some kind of way. Whether we had a good game or we had a bad game, whatever the case may be, we lost. We were right here, and then what just happened? I've gotten that dopamine effect where I'm over here, end game, right? The end game, the part that matters the most, and then I lose. I lose to a cheater, or I lose to somebody who's just basically better than me. And I felt like I lost everything. And you don't think about it. You're like, I lost it. And you didn't really lose anything. The only thing you lost was time. But you didn't lose everything. And a lot of us, we take it so serious that we feel like we lost everything. And because of that, a part of us leaves us. And I know that is definitely not good for the spirit. I know that's definitely not good for the spirit, and I'm pretty sure that the Holy Spirit is just not working through that, because it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So that's one of my experiences here, and I think we got more experiences here coming your way. Jaden, let's go.
Experience I can give of me playing games maybe a little bit too much without any moderation is not even too long ago, when I would play games all night with my friends. And it was mainly a weekend thing. On weekdays,
sometimes I would play, but that would be, that would suck because when I would play till like 11 or 12 and then we had to wake up 5, that's only like 6 5 hours of sleep. So
Like 3.
yeah, it was pretty hard. Sometimes I do it during the weekday, but most of the time it was on a weekend. It was like on like a Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sunday. But I'd basically stay up till like 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning playing games, and then I wouldn't wake up till like 11 or 10, and everybody else would be starting their day already, doing everything they're doing, and I would just be like, I would wake up and I would always wake up and I would feel a little bit guilty because I was like, I would wake up and I'd be like, oh wow, like he already got done that, like he did that, like everyone already ate breakfast, everyone's already getting like doing their day, and I would just be the one like kind of like trying to catch up, and it was just like I always felt guilty a little bit whenever I would play games all night. It was fun in the moment. That couple hours I was playing, it was fun in the moment, but waking up and and I also felt guilty because when the people I was playing with, even though at the time I didn't realize it, but now they sometimes they would say a couple curse words, or they weren't believers either, followers of Christ. So it was like I would always feel guilty because I was a follower still at that time, and I would always wake up and feel a little bit guilty, like like I don't know, I don't know if that was good, like playing with them. So that's definitely like an experience I can give is just what that can help some of you guys is not saying that you can't play games with your friends, because you can, but maybe don't play games all night with your friends till 3 o'clock in the morning, because number one, it's really not good for your health at all. If you play games all night with your friends and you're going to sleep at like 3 o'clock in the morning, you're probably not going to wake up to like 12 or 1, and that's really not good, because you could have had so many more hours to get things productive done during your day, but you decided to play games instead. And like I said, that's not me saying that I don't play games, because I do play on my phone. I don't really play games on my PC anymore, but I play a game on my phone that I play quite often. But I don't stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning playing it. So and then slowly but surely, maybe that will slowly fade off, just like my habit I had playing with my friends, because that just happened. It was like just after one weekend, I was just like, the next weekend I didn't feel like doing it. The next weekend I didn't feel like doing it, and now it's just like I don't even have the urge to want to play with my friends anymore on games. And yeah, and then maybe eventually the games that I play will eventually fade away too. So like we said, it's not for you guys to just like, we're not telling you guys that games are bad, but they're bad if you don't moderate them, and understand that if you continue to play these games basically all day of your lives, you're probably not going to get anywhere doing that. So you can moderate them and help yourself. Maybe like, okay, a couple hours I'll play a game here, and then these other couple hours I'll work on myself to try to better my future self. And
I don't really have much of an example, but I will say that playing video games, dang, I just forgot what I was going to say. But playing video games with your friends is probably like the only exception. But it's, it depends if those friends are even there to support your goals as well. But like playing video games by yourself, like what are you really gaining from that? Besides, like I feel like if you're gonna play video games, you should use it as a way to socially interact with other people. Like if we three were to play video games, that's the way I've been thinking about it. It's a way of building our bond closer. It's the same thing as like if you would, I guess it's kind of wild to compare it, but it's the same thing as if you were to go and play like a frisbee or something, I guess. Even though it's kind of wild to compare that because it's the virtual world compared to the outside physical world. But I'd say if you're playing with a friend, it's a little bit more exceptional than, I don't even know if that's
we just made up a new
it's made up a new word. It's a little bit more of an exception,
Right.
if you've done it playing with a friend. And of course, I said this in another podcast before, that when you play it for more than 1 hour, I'd give you the role of an addiction, of someone who's addicted to video games, because to play video games for more than 1 hour, that means that you don't have to do responsibilities in that hour, and second, when you play them for more than 1 hour, they're not even fun anymore, because all the fun is in the beginning. It's like the dopamine, it goes all like it's up, and then just it crashes so quick. So that's why when you play for more than an hour, you're just straight up addicted. Like there's no, I don't know how else to categorize you. It's the same thing if you do anything for more than an hour, to be honest. Like if I read a book for more than an hour, I'm addicted. But is that not a good addiction? Like if I work on something that means a lot for an hour, I'm addicted. But is that not a good addiction? And also that if you can somehow, let's say if you can somehow make video games a way of resting, I don't know, everybody's different, so you might be able to do it. But if you could somehow make it a form of resting that allows for like an even larger net gain, I guess you could say, then do it, you know? Like, why not? If it allows for you to do better work in your business or in allow more focus in your business or whatever you're trying to pursue at the time, then I'd give you the go to do it. Because if it allows for that, like if it allows for you to somehow rest to a point where you can not think about the video game when you're actually focused on something, then you should go and do it. But the only problem is that I don't think any one of us can do that. Like, to play a video game means to sacrifice all the creative thinking that you'd put in the future. Like if you're taking a shower, you shouldn't be thinking about how to level up your Minecraft base or something. You should be thinking about what can I do to make this Only Way channel better. This is what I think about. And you should also be thinking about God, of course. So yeah.
So, like you were saying, JJ, of how, like, is that really a bad addiction if you're doing something that is really good for you or good for your business, or maybe you are a content creator, and you like making, video game content. Because I was always trying to be a streamer myself when it came to video gaming, but for me, like, I still play video games here and there, not to an extent where I'm spending hours like I used to, but it's just to get on, play some games, and turn it off. Like, it's not to the extent where I'm just so deeply into it now where I'm like losing hours, and again, like, this didn't happen for me overnight. I mean, when my relationship got a little bit tighter with God, because we all still have time to make progress when it comes to the journey, with God. Like, the journey is going to be long, and it's not always going to be easy. You're going to be tested. And that's where we become better, when we're challenged, right? So as I got closer and closer to God, I feel like the Holy Spirit has been guiding me a little bit further away from the things that I used to always want. And because of that, I'm now able to think a little bit more effectively with the decisions that I make on my daily days of whatever it is that I do. When I wake up, I have a better routine. It's like things are just coming into place. Do I get the urge sometimes to go ahead and play some video games? I like Street Fighter. I'll get on there and play a few rounds, and the most important part about that is that I know how to turn it on and turn it off when I have to. When it gets to the point where now you're being like this competitive guy where you're just trying to be better than who are you trying to be better, and that's the one thing we need to ask ourselves is, who are we trying to be better than? There's nobody in your room. You're playing by yourself. And I feel like the online multiplayer competitive side of gaming is what has it has everyone like glued because of that. Because it's like, we're not there like in person, but we're there. We're there through the
competitive about the consequences.
Right. Like, it's like I can say anything I want to say to you. Or I can beat you over and over and over again. I don't care how mad you get, But, it wasn't like that before. But before, it was like more like local playing, like you were here with me, I was there. Or like LAN gaming, where you're there, we're all there together and we're playing. And it's like we respect each other. Like, hey, buddy, you're really good at this game. Maybe you need to kind of step off, like, and let someone else come in here and like, go outside, take a breather, bro. Because, like, you're beating all of us. And it's to the point where it's no longer fun, Like, sometimes it's no longer fun when you're playing someone who's really that good because they have more hours invested in this game. is no longer fun anymore. Because again, why do we play games? We play games to escape and just have fun. Just have fun.
To you tomorrow, snap.
Yeah, like oh man, that's
That's a story for
that's a story for another day. But like, yeah, like gaming is supposed to be fun. Just get on and play. I remember, and I don't want to be too long with this, but I remember when I got Xbox, and Xbox came out with a service called Xbox Live. At the time, Sony was doing their thing, but you needed some extra components to go online and play Sony. The only thing I played on Sony online was SOCOM. If you know, you know. If you know what SOCOM is, you know what SOCOM is. That was one of my favorite online games for the PlayStation. But when Xbox came out with Xbox Live, and you're telling me I was able to play online with other people, like Halo, like the list goes on, Counter-Strike, the list goes on and on. I was playing for hours. I felt like, whoa, I can play with friends online, and I didn't have to go to nobody's house to play. Like, that's when the internet gaming was revolutionizing. Like, things were just getting big, and I thought it was the best thing ever, and it is in moderation. So today, things are a little bit further beyond where they should have been. And like I said, everyone's trying to make money playing games. Everyone's trying to be a content creator playing games. And it's really hard to be a content creator playing games because we're all out here trying to do the same thing. And you have to be different. If you're a content creator trying to play games and trying to make the best gaming channel, well, what sets you apart from everyone else, you know? And it's kind of hard to even answer that question myself because I was stuck there once. And I needed to realize from the other end, from the other side of the spectrum, you know, is this really my everything? Is my goal to be the best gamer, or is my goal to be the best person that I can be? You know, serving our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. You know, you gotta ask yourself that question, you know, like, who are we trying to be and who are we trying to beat, you know? Only you know that. But again, with anything in life, if you can moderate it, you know, and say, okay, it's going to be good now, and then later I'll do something different, you're always going to have fun. So, and it's okay to lose. When you're playing a video game, it's okay to lose. We don't always have to win. If we get so addicted to winning all the time, then we're not going to know how what to do when we lose, you know? All right. Well, I just want to say thank you, everyone, if you made it this far to watching this podcast. We greatly appreciate you for making it this far. Please make sure, guys, to, you know, keep it engaged down below. You know, we really want to read your feedbacks, what you guys think of this. This is a special subject right here for all of us because we're all gamers. You know, we're all gamers. We've been doing this for a long time. So, all right, it'll be really interesting to see what you guys think about that. And stay tuned, guys, because we got more videos coming your way. And, yeah, we look forward to growing here. So far, you guys have been amazing to us. The only way is only going to get better. So, until next time, guys, see you guys. Take care.